You're watching DX Recaps, the place where we break down movies fast, clear, and spoiler-packed. Whether you missed it, forgot it, or just want a quick refresh, we've got you covered. Let's get into the story. In 1942, a year after the German invasion of the Soviet Union during World War II, Red Army soldier Vassili Zaitsev is on a train bound for Stalingrad. As he rides, he recalls how his grandfather once taught him to shoot a rifle while they were hunting together. Packed onto the same train with him are hundreds of other soldiers. But also civilians, among them Tanya Chernova, who catches Vasili's eye though he doesn't dare speak to her. Partway through the journey, the civilians leave the train, while the soldiers continue on. Dropped straight into the chaos of the Battle of Stalingrad. To reach the front lines, they must cross the river by boat, but the Germans seize the chance to attack, bombing them from above and opening fire as soon as they're spotted. Many soldiers are killed instantly, and others panic and leap into the river to escape, only to be shot by their own commanders for desertion. When they finally reach the docks, only every second soldier receives a rifle. The rest are handed bullets and ordered to follow whoever has a weapon. Forced into a desperate charge, the soldiers are easily cut down by German gunfire. Vasili, given only bullets, survives by staying low and playing dead. Once again, Soviet officers shoot their own men for retreating, labeling them cowards and traitors. The battlefield is soon littered with bodies, and there seems to be no one left alive, until a car appears, trying to cross the ruined area. A tank shell hits the car and flips it over. From it crawls Commissar Danilov, who scrambles to hide in a fountain, pretending to be just another corpse in the pile. By sheer luck, he isn't shot when a group of Germans passes by, firing at the bodies to ensure there are no survivors. When the Germans move on, Danilov grabs a rifle from one of the fallen soldiers and tries to shoot at enemy troops in a nearby building, only to discover the weapon is empty. At that moment, he realizes he's not alone. Vasili has been hiding in the fountain too. Vasili asks for the rifle so he can load it with the bullets he was given earlier. He also tells Danilov to wait for an explosion to cover the sound of the gunshots so they won't be discovered. But Danilov, a political commissar with little combat experience, lets Vasili take the shot instead. When another car arrives carrying German soldiers, Vasili positions himself behind a hole in the fountain wall. As soon as he hears an explosion, he fires, picking off the Germans one by one with flawless accuracy. Hours later, they're rescued and taken back to headquarters. Danilov prints pamphlets celebrating Vasili's incredible feat. Days later, Chairman Nikita Khrushchev himself arrives in Stalingrad to oversee the city's defense. Stalingrad is a powerful symbol of Stalin's rule, and they can't afford to lose it. Furious at news of yet another loss, Khrushchev demands ideas from his subordinates on how to lift morale, but they only repeat the same tired tactics. Danilov proposes something different. Instead of just punishment, they should offer hope, a hero to inspire the people to defend the motherland. He has just the hero in mind. Danilov's plan is approved, and he's promoted to senior lieutenant. Soon, Vasili's face is everywhere. In the newspapers, on propaganda leaflets plastered across the city, and in stories praising his feats. He's also promoted, now officially part of the sniper division. Vasili becomes both a national hero and a living symbol of Soviet strength. One day during a mission, Vasili and his sniper team are found by a young boy, Sasha Filipov, who idolizes him. Sasha takes Vasili to his modest home, where his mother, Mrs. Filipov, prepares him a meal to thank him for protecting their homeland. Danilov soon arrives as well, carrying fan letters addressed to Vasili from all over the country. To keep the propaganda alive, Danilov insists Vasili reply to them all. Though Danilov dictates what to write and helps him spell the words correctly. Another visitor soon appears. Tanya, the girl from the train, who is like a sister to Sasha and now serves as a private in the local militia. She speaks fluent German thanks to her university education. Danilov wants to recruit her because they desperately need soldiers who understand German, but Tanya wants to stay and fight on the front lines instead, as the local militia is short on men. She changes her mind when Danilov explains that for every German speaker he can send to intelligence, he'll send 12 soldiers to reinforce the local militia. Meanwhile, Vasili's sniper team is dealing real damage to the German army. So the Germans call in Major Erwin König, a legendary marksman and the head of the German sniper school at Zossen, to eliminate Vasili. König devises a plan to lure Vasili to him instead of hunting him down directly. One day, Vasili is woken from a nap by his team. There's trouble in the department store sector. He fires at a shadow in a window and sees a helmet drop, believing he's hit his target. He and his comrade Ludmila sneak inside to confirm the kill, leaving another soldier behind. As soon as they're gone, the soldier is shot dead. Inside the department store, Vassili and Ludmila find the sniper was just a mannequin, set up to draw them in. It's an obvious trap. Finding a fresh cigarette butt, Vassili realizes their enemy is still watching them. He suggests they wait and think of an escape plan, but when planes begin bombing the area, Ludmila panics and bolts. König shoots her dead and tries to shoot Vassili too, but Vassili narrowly escapes. König returns to his hideout, where young Sasha shines his boots. Sasha pretends to be just a harmless kid but secretly passes information to König about Vassili's movements in exchange for food, hoping König will slip up and reveal useful intel in return. When the Red Army learns König is hunting Vassili, they bring in Kulikov, one of König's former students, to help Vassili understand how König thinks and train him to kill him. Before they return to the field, Vassili attends a party thrown in his honor. He greets Tanya, then Khrushchev drags him off to pose for journalists, answer questions, and stand in front of a massive painting of Stalin, who, Khrushchev says, is always watching over his country. Seeing the painting reminds Vassili of the day his grandfather taught him to shoot, and how he missed his first shot, which let the wolf reach and kill their horse. A few days later, Vassili, Kulikov, and another sniper, Volodya, sneak into an abandoned building where they believe König is hiding. They move carefully and find a body posed like a sniper, another trap, just like before. Crossing an open space, they narrowly avoid enemy fire and manage to shoot 2 repairmen before pausing for dinner. Volodya leaves to fetch the soup he'd been heating elsewhere but gets captured along the way. König's team tries to force him to reveal Vassili's location, but Volodya stays silent. Instead, they disguise him as one of their own and send him back out as bait. Not realizing it's Volodya, Kulikov shoots him immediately, giving away their position on purpose. Kulikov tries to draw König out by popping a helmet into view to provoke a shot, but König doesn't fall for it. The pair decides to relocate, but as they leap across an open floor section, König shoots Kulikov mid-jump, killing him. Vassili escapes unharmed but deeply shaken. The drawn-out duel between Vassili and König tests everyone's patience. Even Khrushchev starts pressuring Danilov for results. After a tense meeting, Danilov visits Tanya to bring her a gift and confess his feelings, but she surprises him by asking to be reassigned. Not long after, Vassili returns to headquarters, clearly demoralized. He's never seen shooting as precise as König's and begins to doubt whether he can win. Danilov reassures Vassili that they're getting fresh intel and that next time, Vassili will be one, or maybe even several, steps ahead of König. So there's nothing for him to worry about. But in return, Danilov asks for a favor. He wants Vassili to talk to Tanya and convince her not to request that transfer. When Vassili tries, Tanya explains that she asked for the transfer because that morning she found out her parents were among the prisoners the Germans executed, and now she wants to go to the front and fight. Understanding her need for revenge, Vassili gives her Kulikov's rifle. After Sasha passes information to both of them, König and Vassili end up heading to the same abandoned building, each thinking they'll surprise the other. König sets up on an elevated platform, while Vassili and his sniper partner sneak in and hide behind some pipes, but the movement shakes the pipes and alerts König to their location. When they try to shift positions, König shoots at them, making Vassili drop his rifle and wounding his partner. Vassili sends his injured comrade back to headquarters since he can't continue like that, and as the sniper crawls away, Vassili tries to recover his rifle by tying a rope to a knife and throwing it to hook the weapon and drag it back. When he finally manages to get the throw right, König easily shoots the rope and snaps it. Just then, German planes fly over and drop bombs, shattering the glass roof. Some shards land right in front of Vassili, giving König a clear view of his face. Back at headquarters, Danilov tries to convince Tanya not to fight, insisting her skills are far more valuable for decoding and intel work. Their argument is interrupted when the wounded sniper returns and explains what happened. Without hesitation, Tanya crawls through the same pipe route to reach Vassili and help him. When he sees her, Vassili tells her to stay put and follow his instructions. Just like König has been watching him through the broken glass, Vassili has been using a shard to watch König in return, so he knows exactly where he is. He asks Tanya to grab another shard and turn it to catch the sunlight and blind König, giving Vassili an opening to recover his rifle and fire. Though Vassili doesn't manage to kill König, he does shoot and injure his hand. Later, when Vassili and Tanya return to headquarters, they celebrate surviving with the other soldiers. That night, they hide under the covers together and make love right in the middle of the crowded communal dormitory. The next morning, Vassili asks Danilov to stop writing about him. He can't carry the burden of being a symbol anymore and just wants to fight as a regular soldier. But Danilov refuses and tries to guilt him by bringing in Sasha, who proudly explains how he got new intel from König. Seeing the boy's hopeful eyes, Vassili can't say no, so he lets Sasha lead him to König's next location. The ground there is covered with corpses, so Vassili hides among them and waits for König to appear. But he waits so long that he drifts off to sleep. When König finally spots him through his scope, he's ready to pull the trigger, but just then, a looting soldier wanders over, thinking Vassili's body is a corpse, and steals all his belongings, including his ID. The German army later captures the looter and, finding Vassili's ID on him, assumes Vassili is dead. König doesn't believe it but is overruled and dismissed. Refusing to leave while Vassili might still be alive, König finds Sasha again and, suspecting the truth, tells the boy where he'll be next. Meanwhile, at Russian headquarters, Khrushchev hears the Germans are spreading news of Vassili's death. Furious, he demands Danilov do his propaganda magic and convince the people that all is fine. Danilov tries to talk Tanya into coming with him to his house, but they're interrupted when loudspeakers begin announcing Vassili's death too. Danilov sits down to write a eulogy declaring Vassili a fallen hero, but at that moment, Vassili returns. He explains how he missed his shot because he fell asleep and then had to hide from König afterward. Danilov reluctantly agrees to arrange his transfer. Vassili then asks about Tanya, and Sasha tells him he knew Vassili was alive and had told Tanya, so she's already gone to the train station to find König and take revenge. Danilov and Vassili rush to the station to stop her. When they find her, Vassili and Tanya kiss, which makes Danilov deeply jealous. Back at headquarters, instead of writing about Vassili's heroics, Danilov decides to ruin him. He reports to the public that Vassili has become a traitor. But König has seen them at the station and now knows for certain that Sasha has been leaking information. He captures Sasha and hangs him from a pole as bait. For Vassili, Tanya is the first to find the boy's body and almost falls into König's trap, but Vassili stops her just in time, telling her that's exactly what König wants. They come up with a plan. While Vassili hunts König, Tanya goes to Danilov for help getting Mrs. Filippov out of the city using a special pass Danilov arranged. Mrs. Filippov refuses to leave without Sasha, so rather than tell her the truth, they lie, saying he joined the Germans. Mrs. Filippov doesn't blame her son for switching sides if it means he's safe, so she agrees to leave. On the way to the boat, a bomb goes off nearby and injures Tanya. Danilov assumes she's dead and leaves. But Mrs. Filippov persuades a doctor to let Tanya onto the evacuation boat by showing the pass and claiming Tanya is her daughter. Meanwhile, Vassili and König lie in wait for each other in their final standoff, neither knowing exactly where the other is. Danilov appears next to Vassili, devastated and broken now that he believes Tanya is dead. He says he has nothing left to live for and that humanity isn't worth saving. To make up for all the lies he spread about Vassili, Danilov sacrifices himself. He stands up in the open so König will shoot him and reveal his position. Vassili doesn't react immediately, tricking König into believing he's killed Vassili instead. König leaves his cover to confirm the kill, but Vassili is waiting. When König sees him aiming, he removes his hat and accepts his fate. Vassili shoots him dead, then leaves König's rifle with Danilov's body. 2 months later, after the Germans surrender at Stalingrad, Vassili receives a letter from Tanya telling him she's alive and recovering in a field hospital. When the city is finally safe enough to travel, Vassili goes to the address she gave him, and the two lovers are reunited at last. And that's a wrap on today's recap. If you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a plot twist. Got a movie you want recapped? Drop it in the comments below. This is DX Recaps. See you in the next one.